Before I start this last video about Ethiopia, I did want to thank everybody for their feedback and support through all of this. I'm still trying to find my voice and style with these videos. I really want to be educational and encouraging, especially because I know I'm talking about cultures that aren't my own, and we're going to get into some spicy topics with some of these places at some point. And frankly, I don't think I've found my voice yet with this. Definitely dealing with some discomfort in front of a camera still, but I do think we'll get there, and I'm really thankful for people being so kind and supportive through all of this, so thank you. But on to the actual point of this video. A lot of times when we think about drinks from Ethiopia, we think of things like coffee. Instead of focusing on coffee, I wanted to talk about something that isn't as popular in the West, but is a key drink in Ethiopia: tej. On the simplest level, tej is an infused honey wine. But like we've talked in previous videos, we're dealing with one of the oldest cuisines and cultures in the world, with immense diversity and access to some incredible agriculture. It's not as simple as just an infused honey wine. Tej, thought to be the oldest alcoholic beverage ever produced, is still a fixture in Ethiopian culture today, especially with the Orthodox Christians. Home families tend to come together to homebrew it for celebrations like weddings or Christmas or Enkutatah, Ethiopian New Year, amongst other religious ceremonies. But its history prior to the 1900s is a little murky. In some records, it shows that only the king was allowed to drink it and those who were in his presence, while others claim that the average Ethiopian citizen who had some amount of means would share it generously with foreign travelers, particularly if they had literally any reason to celebrate. There's actually a great account of a priest in the 1500s who apparently got very drunk off of it. To make tej, you need honey, water, yeast, and gesho. Gesho refers to the shiny leaf buckthorn plant, and both its stems and leaves are used in the process of making tej to give a herbaceous and lightly bitter flavor. The leaves are called gesho-keto, and the stems are called gesho-enchet. The version that I made, I personally used both to kind of create a complex flavor, but I will note it's way harder to remove the leaves, and making it with just the stems is completely acceptable as well. All of the ingredients are mixed together and left to ferment for about a week, at which point the gesho is then strained out so the tej doesn't become too bitter. The cloudy golden liquid is then left to ferment for about a month, during which point you should see some really cool activity. I hope I kind of captured it. I don't think I did. And then is deemed to be ready.
Whoa!
I chose to chill crash my tej so that all of the yeast could crash down to the bottom and any other residual sediment before I then bottled. I made this big batch for a monthly dinner club that my friends and I have. My friends made an incredible Ethiopian meal and we provided the drinks, and in this case, part of that was tej. I was so happy that 5 bottles essentially were demolished. I only have a little bit left, and I'm thinking about making a tej ice cream with it, so let me know if you're interested in that. Unlike nitokebe and barberry spice, I don't think that making your own tej is necessary. It is used to cook at times, but I found this really good recommendation to use a combination of white wine and honey from the Ethiopia cookbook by Johannes Ghebreyesus. I really hope I pronounced that correctly. Alcohol brewing can be dangerous when done incorrectly, so I really recommend, if this is something you're interested in, do some education, do some research, and make sure you're being careful. I'm lucky enough to have a fair amount of experience making alcohol already, and I have a chemistry degree, but even I sometimes get a little spooked by the process of alcohol production. I have the recipe that I use still linked in the site in my bio, so if this is something that sounds like you're wanting to give this a shot, do it. It's super fun, and it's relatively easy in the scale of alcoholic beverages you can produce. For our next country, we'll be heading due north to a deeply misunderstood country where the desserts are as sweet as honey and sour cherries reign supreme in the mountains. Until then, remember, there's a whole world waiting for you in the kitchen. Also, someone helped me get Charlie from Golden Hive Mead to give tej a shot. I feel like he would be really good at it.